Hi there, good afternoon. Welcome to the 4 to 5. I'm Eric Chilton alongside Stacey Spivey, Monique Robinson, and Lauren Coleman.
Happy Hump Day, everyone. If you're watching on air, online, WFMY News 2, on our app, on our tablet, there's so many different ways to watch us.
That's right. And if you're tuning in from Facebook, be sure to write on there, give us a comment, a shout out, whatever you want to do, and we will get on there and chat with you. But we have a lot to get to this afternoon. Gas, rent, groceries, inflation continues to be an issue for
Right now, you're taking a live look at the White House, where efforts are underway to ease the burden of rising consumer costs. New Labor Department figures show inflation jumped 8.3% over the last 12 months. While the numbers are starting to slowly decline, the pain at the pump and the checkout counter continues to bear down on Americans.
There are two leading causes of inflation we're seeing today. The first cause of inflation is a once-in-a-century pandemic. A second cause, Mr. Putin's war in Ukraine. We saw in March that 60% of inflation that month was due to price increases at the pump for gasoline.
The president says raising interest rates could offer some relief over the next 6 months. He also says he's open to ending Chinese import tariffs that were enacted under former President Donald Trump.
About 6 in 10 Americans are planning a summer vacation, but over half of them are making changes because of inflation and those rising prices. That's according to bankrate.com. So if you're looking to book a trip, here's what you need to know. Travel site hopper.com says airfare is up 39% from last year, with average price for a domestic flight being $353. Now for hotels, hotel rates are $160 a night, 20% higher than a year ago. Professional travel advisor Jenny Maurer says that's not stopping people from wanting to get out and go somewhere.
2019 for travel was probably one of the largest years and highest sales volume that we've seen in history. I have already helped families and couples book more travel this year. Here we are at the beginning of May than I did in all of 2019.
She says people are not only ready to travel, but she's seen a lot of people ready to spend.
We're also seeing a higher spend, that people are like, you know what, maybe a destination was on my bucket list and I'm not waiting 5 years now. Or we're also seeing maybe I would get a regular room on a ship or at a resort. I'm going for the suite.
And here's our advice on how to save money and keep yourself from stressing. Be flexible with traveling. Try to travel midweek, like a Wednesday to a Wednesday. Try to always stay that Saturday night of your trip. Book a package with your flights and hotel together. Book with a travel professional because they can help you find those deals. And always buy travel insurance. Mara also recently traveled to the Bahamas, as you could see in her interview there, and she tells me if you travel internationally, you will have to take a COVID-19 test to get back into the U.S. She recommends to stay at a resort because most of them will provide that test for you. Now, I asked you on my Facebook page what your summer vacation plans are. Rob writes, between the rising cost of gas and inflation, maybe a staycation this year. Donnie is heading to the U.S. Virgin Islands in June. Diane writes, had plans, but gas prices ruined them. Guess it's the backyard for us. And Brittany is going to the mountains in August. Barbie, Montego Bay, Jamaica in July. And Gail is staying home. I was kind of surprised that, well, I guess I shouldn't be surprised with inflation and everything we've been just talking about. A lot of people said they're not going anywhere because of gas prices, because of inflation. They're just going to stay home this summer.
I don't know what it is with us. This is the most we've ever spent on a beach vacation coming up. And I looked at my wife and I'm like, what are we doing?
You're just balling like that.
Yeah, she just said, no, I wish. She just said, I'm just ready for a really nice vacation because I think everybody's been so stressed the last 2 years. So we kind of threw a little extra in this year.
That's how I feel as well. I don't have any big summer plans, but in the fall, I am going to Mexico. Nice. I love going on a big international trip at least once a year, and I haven't been able to do that since 2019. So me and some of my college friends, we all turned 30 this year, so we're having a big 30 girls trip bash. So I'm excited about it.
I love all inclusive too.
Yeah, and it's all inclusive at a resort. Yeah, it's just easier that way. We booked it through a travel agent, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, and apparently booking with a travel agent's the way to go. I mean, that's Mara told me, because I thought, you have to pay them a fee. No.
No.
They just help you do this. anyway, I thought that was great. I'm going to the beach, the place where the horses are.
Oh
What's
yeah,
that?
Corolla.
Corolla.
Yeah.
I've never
Oh,
been, so I'm
nice.
excited
That
to go.
is exciting.
Baylor's first beach trip.
Oh, it
Aw,
is. That's
you got to
right.
take lots of pictures
Yes,
with
you
her and
do.
the seashells and her big
You know
little
she's
bucket
gonna
hat.
have a little hat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've been trying to practice with the hat. Doesn't like it.
She doesn't like it yet. She
No.
will. Give her a little time. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Stay there. Talk to us on Facebook. Oop.
I think
Sorry,
we're
I'm
talking
sorry,
about the
Mo.
weather. Yeah, it's nice outside. I think Eric's just so excited to get back outside and to enjoy the weather because it's been so nice outside today. Highest temperatures across the board in the upper 70s. I don't know about you, but I love to see temperatures like this time of year. It's crazy because Mother's Day was nearly 20 to 25 degrees cooler than this across the area. 77 is the current high temperature for today in Greensboro across the area. Now we're continuing to see warm temperatures over the last couple of days. Like I said, Sunday 55, and we've been warming up day by day since then, but a slight cool down is on the way for your day tomorrow. Now temperatures for tonight falling down to around those mid 50s, 56 with increasing cloud cover. Tomorrow is expected to be a mostly cloudy day. Those clouds will sort of act like a blanket and shield how warm we get by the afternoon. So we'll be in the upper 60s for your day tomorrow, and looking out for the chance of a stray shower or two. But as we head towards the weekend, that's the better chance for our radar to get active, with showers and storms possible across the area. I'll be talking more about your weekend forecast and what type of plans I recommend you should do with weather like that coming up soon.
Monique, thank you. Right now, we're learning more about a deadly shooting that shook customers shopping at a Triad Walmart. We first told you about this yesterday as breaking news on the 4 to 5. Around 2 o'clock, High Point police responded to the Walmart on North Main Street. There they found 24-year-old Damaris Turner dead from multiple gunshot wounds. Police arrested 20-year-old Zycorin Little and charged him with first-degree murder. We did speak with one woman who was there when the shooting happened.
We were at the back of the store in the infant and toddler section when a store employee came up and was like, "Ladies, you need to come with me right now." And we're like, kind of like, "What?" He said, "I need you to go out the back door. There's been a shooting." Now he was firm and serious, but not alarming. Our biggest challenge really was that a lot of people around us were wanting to talk about it, and I kept having to look at them and say, and kind of give them the shh and point to her, because we didn't want her to be alarmed. The main thing we wanted was not to traumatize our grandchildren.
Police do believe the shooting was targeted and not a random act. Right now, they're still working to determine a motive.
Less than an hour before this shooting in High Point, shots rang out at Haynes Mall in Winston-Salem. Police say an argument escalated into a shootout between two men in the food court. They say one man was hurt. Officers found him outside the Golden Corral restaurant nearby. Take a look at this video that was shot during all of the chaos. You can see mall employees sheltered in a room there moments after shots were heard. Pictures here show officers heavily armed and wearing protective gear. Police later determined the shooting was targeted and lifted the lockdown. Coming up at 5, our Jenna Kurzina explains what experts say you should do if you're ever in a similar situation. Very, very scary news yesterday. Like we said, these are heavily populated areas. I mean, a mall, a Walmart, any one of us could have been there at the time of something like this.
I just don't know if it's because, it's so easy to get access to stories that are happening now, or are we seeing more of these things? I mean, obviously 2 in one day is unusual, but it seems like every day we're seeing more and more of this
somewhere
type of
in the
thing.
country,
Yes,
even
I
if it's
hate
not
it.
here locally.
Yep.
Yeah, it's so sad, but I don't know about y'all. Every time I'm somewhere that it's very populated, there are a lot of people there, I already start planning out in my head, okay, my escape plan. If something were to go wrong, okay, what am I going to do with Baylor? Which door can I get out of? If I'm in a restaurant and something were to happen, where is the exit? And it's kind of horrible
It is.
that I think like that, but with things like this that happen, you almost have to have a plan.
That's the reality of the
It
world
is.
that we live in. You got to constantly keep your head on that swivel because it really could happen anywhere at any time.
I had a police officer once, I asked him about this, and I said, what's one of the best things you can do? And he said, I always try to sit with my back against the wall somewhere so I can see the whole room. And he said, because that way, and you do, and you should. He said you should look for what's the best way out quickly if you had to go for whatever reason. And I just hate, you're right, I hate that we have to think that way, but if you don't and you're ever in that situation, it could be really bad.
I know a lot of gentlemen, my dad or other men that I might have gone out to eat with, they like to face the door.
Yeah, I do too.
And then have you like not face there so they can just keep a lookout to see what's going on.
Your dad's military too,
Yeah.
so he knows what's going on.
That's ingrained in him.
I need to call him and ask him what I need to do.
Let's get him on the 4 to 5.
Get him a tactical escape plan. And I have to apologize to Monique. I'm so sorry. I thought we were going to a break. I just stepped all over her
Now
weather.
we are going to
I'm
break.
so sorry.
Yeah.
You want to do it now since
Yeah.
I've already done it?
We'll be right back.
Nicely done.
You hear that? Billowing winds, you know, they're usually a peaceful sound at the beach, but when you add in coastal flooding, this can happen. This house collapsed into the ocean, and one Triad family vacationing there says weather conditions are the worst they've ever seen.
You can see our porch. That's water from the ocean, and there's all the sandbags. Those were completely covered when we were here. And this is our walkway.
Scary stuff. Jenny told us she arrived in Buxton on Saturday. Since then, she's watched the ocean wash more than 20 truckloads of sand away. I want to bring in meteorologist Monique Robinson. So Monique, you've covered weather along the coast before. Why is the flooding so bad right now?
Well, I know you may have either done this or explored this phenomenon where you are playing in the water and you extend your arms out, and as you're shifting your body in the water is pushed up. It's elevated. That's what happens when we have an area of low pressure. As it continues to spin counterclockwise, it's pushing that ocean water along the coast. We see that oftentimes when tropical systems happen, like a tropical storm or a hurricane. This event is very familiar to the coast. In fact, I've even observed it working and living along the coast. So it's very similar to a phenomenon we call storm surge, where generally the winds are actually pushing that ocean water onto land. And if it sits for a very extended period of time, it just keeps hitting the home. It keeps hitting those stilts that are supposed to help to keep that home standing strong. And over time, they give way and they break, and then we see that happen. And that sand that she's talking about, those are often referred as dunes, and they actually are set up to block a lot of that ocean water from actually reaching the homes. But again, when you have a lot of water that just keeps making its way onto land, it pushes those sand dunes away and allows for that sand to dissolve, making it very difficult, in fact, for any of that sand to block the home or block those stilts that are across the area.
That was just terrifying video there. I mean, I just couldn't imagine being in that house or like walking past and see. I mean, that's just terrifying.
Crazy. I mean, it almost seems unreal, like it would be in a movie, that like this didn't actually happen. And then the video from the lady that's there, and it's just hitting the house. It's scary that this can happen, but I guess it's one of the things that you have to know and be aware of if you have a home on
and also pay attention to the news and the weather. Like if they're like, get out of there, pack up your stuff and go. I mean, if someone were to stay behind, look what could have happened to them.
Yeah, and with hurricane season officially beginning on June 1st, if you're ever heading down to the coast and you ever see those white foams ever on water like that, how it looks very foamy and white, that means that the water is very dangerous to get into in general. So whether you are at this location here near Cape Hatteras or anywhere else, whenever you see white caps, that means the water is very dangerous. So you never want to get in water when it looks like that. I just a thing you see as meteorologists immediately when you see the white, you're like, oh, that's bad. Don't get in the water.
I did not know that, so that is some great piece of advice there.
So with this whole thing that we were just talking about and you explaining it, is this pretty unusual? Does this happen often?
Well, in tropical systems, definitely not. We see this oftentimes, not necessarily homes breaking and stuff like this, but homes being directly affected that live along the coast whenever a tropical system is there. This is not a tropical system, so it's kind of, a lot of people are confused, but if it were a tropical storm or a hurricane, I mean, this does unfortunately happen in events like that.
So remember the foam, the white foam.
Yes, white foam,
Do not
not
go.
good.
Okay.
Most people actually won't be near water in events like that because the winds are crazy fast and loud, and it's just not a fun time at the beach.
Well, it's beautiful outside today.
Yes, it is
In the
nice
triad.
today. It is nice today, but today is kind of the only day this week that we're expecting for nice weather. The rest of the week, not so nice as clouds return back for your Thursday. Now, again, this is that same area of low pressure. It's been so stubborn. It hasn't really moved much, staying off the coast, but it's going to kind of take an interesting track where it moves back towards the southeast. As it does that, it's actually increasing our cloud cover, bringing in more moisture to the central Piedmont. It's going to continue to take this interesting path where it's going to ride its way across the southeast, bringing more moisture and more clouds, which means more showers and storm possibility for your Friday, sticking through your Saturday, and even on your Sunday. So here's a look at the futurecast. We're seeing the clouds move in late tonight, continuing through your Thursday. The light possibility of showers for your Thursday evening. And then as we go through the day on Friday, just one of the days you just kind of watch the radar through the day for the possibility of showers and storms. So I have yet to show you guys this full 7-day, but here you have it for the first time during this 4 p.m. hour. So temperatures a little bit cooler for your Thursday and Friday. Friday, the rainmakers. Saturday, more showers and storms possible again on Sunday. And then look at that, 80s are back. So we're feeling 80s starting as early as Sunday, and those 80s are sticking with us. Won't say goodbye for a little while after that.
Just when you think the Greensboro Science Center couldn't get any better, it is growing yet again. Today they announced 2 new exhibits, the Cole Family Monarch Conservation Center and Butterfly House, and the Amazing Butterflies Traveling Exhibit. Guests can expect to see native butterflies up close and discover how they can put conservation into action. They'll also be able to go on an adventure through the leaves, learn how to move like a caterpillar, become friends with an ant, and then transform into a butterfly and take flight. There will be a preview for GSC members on May 31st, and the exhibit will open to all guests on June the 3rd.
All right, since we have animals and insects on our minds, I asked you on Facebook, tell me your favorite animal in the whole world and why. Kathy Grant said a koala bear. We are planning a trip to the South Carolina Zoo to touch one. Didn't know you could do that. Deborah said dogs. They love you unconditionally and they're always happy to see you. That is true. Christine said wolves. The only person I saw that did wolves here. She said they are beautiful. All right now. They are similar to huskies, quiet but reserved and fierce. Beverly says elephants because they're so majestic, family oriented. They show emotions and they take care of each other. Nicole says penguins are her favorite animals. We have a lot in common because she said we're both short, fat, and waddle when we walk. Please, penguins are cute, so that means you're cute. Kathy said that my 4-year-old grandson, because he could be a beast sometimes. Her favorite animal in the world.
I love that one.
I don't know about, I mean, the koala is really cute.
They
You know
are
a
very
weird
cute.
one that I've actually gotten to hold one time and I thought it was so cute, but you don't think of this, a sloth. They
Oh, they're
hold
so
one?
I got to
cute.
hold a sloth and he had his little arms like around my neck and I held him like that and they just stand so still. It's so
Do
cute.
they really
Yeah.
move super slow?
I mean, ridiculous. Like he just basically was like this the whole time. It was on TV when I was in
Oh,
Tampa
okay.
and I was holding him like this and he like took him that long to turn and look at the camera. It was so funny.
Cool.
Some people are obsessed with sloths.
Oh really? So
Chad
cute.
Silver has sloth socks.
He does.
Does he? I did not know that.
What is her name? Kristen Bell?
Yeah.
The actress loves sloths.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's a thing. I mean, I think the obvious answer for me is a dog, or dogs. I
I love
love
dogs.
dogs, absolutely. But the unique animal, I'm so weird for saying this. I don't know why, but ever since I was little, I've had this thing for alligators.
Really?
I don't know
Oh.
why, they're just so interesting to
They
me.
are interesting.
Have you seen one in person?
Like,
Yeah.
Like outside of the zoo, like actually?
Yeah, so in Arkansas, there's the alligator farm, and you can go and like feed them and hold the baby ones, and
Oh, that's super cute.
I don't know, I'm so weird.
Yeah, no, I think they're fascinating too, but in a kind of a
Interesting.
crazy, like a predator way. I love
Yeah,
they're
they're always
interesting.
creeping with their
Yeah.
eyes. I think it's obvious.
There
what
you
my
go.
favorite, you
Cheetah
know,
girl.
was feeling wild today. No, I do love leopards, cheetahs. I think they're just so beautiful. Even when we had those tigers on the
Oh
4
my
to 5
gosh.
yesterday,
know.
they're just such gorgeous and exotic animals. So
But-
those would be my favorite.
And we're still waiting to find out about that because that tiger breeding program they're doing, they're hoping that we'd have little cubs maybe. They're called cubs, right? Tiger cubs,
I
is that
think
right?
so,
yeah.
right?
Now that would be fun to be able to
Oh
go
my
and hold
gosh.
those.
Until they
Yeah,
for
so
a
they
while.
might get a little too big.
Oh, so cute.
Now I'm afraid to go to break because I'm always thinking I'm going to go at the wrong time.
I'm pretty sure you can.
It says
Yeah,
break
it
right
says
there.
break.
I'm going to do it. We'll be right back.
Well, it's the 4 to 5, and you know we can't go a show without talking about food, and today is National Eat What You Want Day. It's a day set to set diets aside for a day of indulgence. So I asked you on my Facebook page, what's a food you could never get sick of eating? Sandra Inslee says chicken wings, fried potatoes and onions, bacon. Cheryl Owen says greens with turkey tails. Anthony says steak and pizza. A lot of folks said pizza. Jeff Griffin wrote seafood hands down. Angela Crawford said French fries. Carl Robinson says curry chicken, fried chicken, and pork chops.
Hold on a second. What did she say?
She said
Turkey tails. I heard a turkey necks
what
in
is
greens. Maybe it's like a turkey, like
Something
you know how
else.
some people add like turkey necks and like fatback and different things to their greens. That's what I think she meant by that.
Maybe that's what that is.
Okay.
So I guess we had this discussion, if you had to eat one type of food most of the time, because I can't do it all the time.
Yeah.
I would hate everything. Mine is anything pasta and cream sauce.
Okay.
I love that kind of base to
Like an
stuff.
Alfredo
Yes,
type.
chicken with it, whatever meat, but I like pastas and cream sauce.
Mine would have to probably be salmon. I eat salmon at least 3 days a week, so I love like salmon BLTs or just like salmon with a veggie,
Never thought of
salmon
that.
on top of some grits. It's just so
I like
delicious
that.
and fresh.
Ice cream, duh.
Yes,
I
thank
mean,
you.
obvious choice, right? No, I mean, literally, if it was okay to eat ice cream every day, I would eat ice cream.
There
every
are
day.
no rules. You can eat ice cream every day.
Yeah, but then I would. It
Yeah.
would not be good health-wise.
I'd have to
Not
get
the best choice.
All new suits.
Your stomach would just be bubbling all the
Yes.
time. That's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, I did
Horrible.
eat a lot of ice cream last night, so I guess I can eat more tonight.
Yeah.
Why not? Eat what you want, day.
Do frozen
I'll take
yogurt.
it.
It'll make you feel a little better.
Yeah,
No?
That's very true. I love that.
I love frozen
I do
yogurt.
too.
it is really good.
Yeah.
But
I
there's
believe
nothing
it's your
like.
turn.
Oh, it is my turn.
Yeah. I was like, is there a break?
No,
I guess
Well-
it's not a break.
it said break, but I'm afraid to go to break anymore.
Children is really
I'm just
scared.
going to let it go. It's Stacy.
Okay. Well, oftentimes deciding what you're going to eat is pretty difficult, right? So listen as Coach Lamont talks about how indecisiveness can be a hinder to how you take action.
Decisions, decisions, decisions. Do you know that 82% of all failure is due to the inability of not making a decision in a timely manner? We told because we are unable to decide what is best for our lives. We fear if the right decision is indeed the right decision. Remember that each decision will create a new life event, which creates a new life story. Each decision is an incision within the area of compromise because you firmly decide to shift your life into a new direction. You must decide what is best for your life and are willing to allow that decision to become the course your life is then set upon. You are one decision away from the greatest life or a season of unintended circumstances. So today, decide. Your life is waiting. This is Coach Lamont. Make today your best you day. I'll see you tomorrow.
No, it's her. She is insane. Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry about that. My jacket. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Welcome back on this hump day. I'm Lauren Coleman here with Monique Robinson. We got Eric Chilton and Stacy Spivey.
Welcome to everybody watching us right here on WFMY News 2. Don't forget Fire Stick, Roku, and our WFMY News 2 app.
And we're also on Facebook, so be sure to get on the chat there and talk with us. Let us know that you're here.
Yeah, it's a little quiet over there. Come join us. Well, graduation season is here, and across the triad, scholars of all ages, they are tossing up their caps.
There's a special story that happened right here in Greensboro. A mother attending UNCG and her daughter over at A&T are graduating this month. WFMY News 2's Jalen Gilkey talked to them about this amazing accomplishment.
Yeah, guys, Yvonne Hall and her daughter Gabrielle have a lot to celebrate this month. Mom graduated last weekend from UNCG, and this Saturday, daughter Gabrielle will walk across the stage with the A&T Spring Class of 2022. And graduation is a milestone they reached together.
My emotions are really overwhelmed right now.
I love my mom. Like, she's my girl, she's my world. She has done so much for me, and the fact that we're graduating together is a huge accomplishment for the both of us.
Graduating from college is always a very special accomplishment for any student. But for Gabrielle and Yvonne Hall, this moment is even sweeter.
For me, it was just being an example, again, to both of my children, to, let them know that, again, there is never too late to achieve your goals.
Throughout their time as students, Yvonne and Gabby told me that they were so glad they had each other to lean on.
We would always be on the phone, calling each other, just making sure we get our assignments turned in on time, studying, staying focused. She would pray with me because I needed that extra boost and encouragement to get through this semester, this last year.
There are really no words to describe it except for we are very humble and very grateful to God for just getting us to this point through these years of college.
And Mom got her degree in integrated professional studies and is now eyeing grad school. Wow. And Gabrielle, she graduated with a degree in sports sciences now. Job hunting.
That is very impressive. Congratulations to them both. And they look like twins. I couldn't tell if this was the mom and who was the daughter.
Yeah, I'm so proud of them for getting through this together. I don't know if I could have actually done something like that with my mom. I think we probably would have fought a little bit, but also we would have, it's so nice that they had each other for support. College is hard.
Absolutely.
So to be able to understand what each other's going through is very important.
Plus trying to go to college after you're out in the working world, to me is twice as hard, 3 times as hard as doing it when you're right out of school. And I admire anybody that can go back to school.
And juggle work at the same time, or you're just used to having that steady income, and now adding school on top of that could be a struggle.
I can only imagine how proud Mom is of how proud they are of each other, because I can only imagine, think about how proud my mom was of me doing graduation, and just to have these moments together and be able to celebrate together and just to be so proud of each other and support each other is just a wonderful story.
I hope their graduations aren't on the same day. That's the first thing I thought of. I know it's 2 different schools.
Yeah, so Mom graduated last Saturday, and then daughter graduates this Saturday.
Good,
so
because I was just thinking, what I'm trying to run to the other school to. That's awesome. Good for them.
I love that. Great story, Jalen.
All right, we got to show some love to our Triad scholars right now. Show off your graduate by sending us a picture, and you can text it to 336-379-5775. Make sure that you include the class, and please, no professional pictures, just candid shots. We cannot use professional pictures.
It was such a beautiful day, Monique. I was able to drive around while I went to a doctor's appointment, and I was like, I just want to stay outside today. It's so gorgeous.
Yeah, look at that High Point Camp. You see those blue skies? It's a very, very nice day out there. No clouds today, but tonight they're going to start building back, and we're going to have more of them tomorrow. So take a look at the satellite radar just very quickly, taking a look across the nation. You can see those yellow polygons. I know you see them far to the north in the central portions of the U.S. You can see there in South Dakota and Minnesota. We've seen some severe thunderstorm warnings that have popped up along with that very strong line of storms that have made their way across. Also keeping a close eye on this area of low pressure. Also reports not only of it impacting Cape Hatteras area and along the southeast coast of North Carolina, but even folks all the way in Virginia reporting higher water levels and the Potomac River. So we're seeing a lot of damage and impressive details related to bad weather impacts with that area of low pressure. We're not dealing with too much of anything yet, except for these winds have been picking up as we've been wedged between that high pressure and low pressure. That really helps to increase the winds across our area. Temperatures nice and warm at 77 currently in Burlington. And this is a look at the futurecast. So we're staying dry today, tomorrow, slight chance of showers for your Thursday. And then as we go through the day on Friday, looking at the possibility of some more off and on showers and storms. Same story for your Saturday. More off and on showers and storms possible. No washouts to look out for, but certainly a day when you're going to have to just keep an eye on the radar and just grab the umbrella when you head out the door. Make sure you stay weather aware by keeping our free WFMY News 2 app close. It's easy to download from either the Apple Store or Google Play. There you'll have the latest weather updates right in the palm of your hand. And we'll be back.
Right now, the Senate is debating on whether to turn abortion rights into law. Lawmakers are expected to vote on the matter today, but it is expected to fail. The Democrat-backed bill has passed the House, but doesn't have enough support to make it through the Senate. Some moderate Republicans are working on their plan to legalize abortion rights nationwide. Efforts to convert Roe v. Wade into law are in response to a leaked Supreme Court draft. The finalized opinion from the court is expected in June or late July.
Right now, more than 24 people are recovering after a head-on crash involving a school bus. Police say it happened this morning on the south side of Charlotte. A bus carrying high school students and a dump truck collided. The fire department says it took 30 minutes to free the bus driver and an hour to get the dump truck driver out of the vehicle.
The challenge was just the amount of damage to the car, right? So you have to work methodically in the fact when you remove the car, you don't want to cause any more damage to the patient or anybody else. We had 2 ladder companies here. Both those things have the Hirsch jaws of life. We used all those tools and got both drivers out very successfully.
Terrifying. Both drivers were conscious and stable at the scene. However, one of them does have life-threatening injuries. 14 students were taken to nearby hospitals. None of their injuries are serious. Oh, no one expects something like this to happen on their way to school.
And you hate to get, as a parent, you hate to get those updates from the school system when they have to say what's going on and you're wondering, is it your kid's bus? Is it not your kid's bus? I actually covered a school bus wreck, a turnover, like the whole bus turned over when I was living in Myrtle Beach a long time ago. It's that's one of the scariest scenes I've ever seen, to see that many kids around. No major injuries on that one, but still, it's scary.
It is.
Have you all ever thought about most school buses don't have seat belts?
Yes. Yep, that's a topic.
I've done stories about it in the past. There were some lawmakers in Arkansas that tried to make it a law there. And I just don't understand why that's not a thing. We have seatbelts in every car. It's required in city buses, right?
Well, they have.
Or some of them.
Yeah, some. It depends on where you are, because I've seen them in some, but hardly anybody uses them because you don't have to.
I mean, these are our children. They're most vulnerable, and we put them in this to go to school every day. We should do everything we can to keep them safe.
And unfortunately, the more things like this happen, it might push, certain laws to be put in place where seatbelts will be mandated. But I'm glad that no one, passed away in this situation.
Yes.
And luckily, I know there were some injuries. take a look at that windshield there. That's just,
I know.
That's just terrifying. But the first responders, they were on the scene and they did their work and they did what they have to do. So we just are praying for a quick and speedy recovery.
For everybody involved. Yep, that's for sure. Okay, we'll take a break and we're coming right back. handwriting. For me, it was the worst grade in elementary school, but for one Gibsonville woman, it has turned into a business. She is so good at it that her handwriting looks like it was printed from a computer, and you're only seeing the beginning. It's when she adds all the extras like that it gets, it's pretty amazing there. Megan Taylor is her name. She is the owner of All She Wrote Notes, and she has taken happiness and joy to this new level through her product lines, her workshops, which you can get involved with, and quite literally her love of life. I sat down with her yesterday to find out how all this began. All right, look, if you want to be happy and be bright, we found the place. Will you just look around? This place, unbelievable. This is Megan's creation here. I want you to tell us how this all came about. Where did this start with you?
All She Wrote Notes, we are in our 9th year of spreading happiness through our handwriting. I am a lettering artist, I'm an author, and we've built this space in Gibsonville where we think people can feel that book fair energy, that school spirit, nostalgia, to be able to come back and feel creative again.
And you did this, you said when you were a kid you like to put your name on everything, and that's kind of how this started?
I did. My name is Megan, and it's spelled M-A-G-H-O-N, which is not how you spell Megan. My mom made that up. And it just made me feel so special to have something personalized because I couldn't find it anywhere. And so I love being able to personalize gifts for people, to personalize people's pencil boxes or their tumblers, and to just sit down and have that moment of me showing them my art and then teaching them how to do it as well.
Now you've been selling things online for years, right? But this is the first time you've had a brick and mortar store.
It is. We just pretty much outgrew my house. My husband said that's all she wrote from here. We were really just starting to get all kinds of deliveries and packages to our home right around the corner in Elon, and we felt the need for bigger space. And we felt really called to this corner, and it's been about 18 months of construction with my dad and I renovating to get it to where it is now.
You did this yourself?
We sure did. Every board, every nail here. It was a building that's almost 80 years old, and it used to be a doctor's office, and so people left feeling better, and that's our goal here as well.
You got to keep that going. And you do classes too, right? What's that all about?
We do. So we teach lettering, teaching people how to write like I do with that whimsy, fun font, just making your regular handwriting happier. And then we have book clubs for all 3 of my books as well. So we can kind of come together, dive in, get creative, and have that community.
She's like a walk-in. She should just be a host. We're just going to let you, why am I here? Just let her talk, let her go.
That's my dream. That's so fun.
I love what you've done. This is beautiful.
Thank you so much. It is an honor to have y'all here, and we just hope that we're brightening the corner for anybody that heads our way.
Be happy, be bright.
Ah,
so cool. And you talk about full of happiness and love and good feelings. I mean, that's her. She's just a good soul.
I just love the look of that shop. It's so bright and vibrant. And I saw that there were some tables in there so you can take classes and do
So she does. It's only a few times a month, so you need to go to, the name of the company is All She Wrote Notes. So if you go to that.com and check it out, then you can register for these classes because they're only here and there. But she does teach you how to do this. She said she's not trying to monopolize this. She wants to share it. She wants people to do it also and kind of spread it all around. She even has a children's book called Betty Confetti.
Okay.
And Betty Confetti is a little girl who hates to make mistakes. And she's trying to draw and she keeps messing up, and she's taking all her colored paper and she put it in a paper shredder being angry. And then she looked, she's like, oh my gosh, look, I made confetti. And she said it's a lesson that God wants you to make mistakes and good things come from mistakes if you learn from them.
I love that.
Amazing.
I mean, how can you not be happy walking in there? Just
Seriously.
like seeing it makes me happy. All the confetti, the bright colors, it's so much fun. And you said that you can get a book to learn to write.
It will teach you. It's like an outline book that you can buy in there and do it yourself so you can learn that muscle memory. She did something for us too. I want to show you guys. She did a WFMY News 2 picture for us.
So cool.
Wow.
That was done with a Sharpie and her. There's no stencil, there's nothing to, that is just
Looks like
her
graphic
writing.
design,
Doesn't
like
it?
it was done on a computer. That is really awesome. I think that this is so unique that she started a business like this. You've seen the paint and the sips and all that kind of stuff, but I've never seen something like this.
Good hearts behind this thing. We'll be back.
I was told that it takes 3 years for anybody to know who you are in the real estate industry. And I was 25. I said, I don't have 3 years, 3 children.
That's Heather Brooks, a real estate agent in High Point, one of the hot spots for home buying, and an everyday job that has a plethora of math involved on the back end. Today, Heather Brooks is booming with business, but that's not how it started for her. Heather Brooks says her first client in 2004 found her ad in the local paper, but when she got the call, the unthinkable happened.
I was outside in my pajamas, slippers, children. My mom was in town, and my house is burning to the ground. And I was covering the phone up and talking with this potential client on how well I could market their home as my house is burning down.
A wild career start for Brooks was just the beginning for more unexpected obstacles.
Being a woman, a lot of women don't want to work with you. And the older I get, the less that it matters. When I was younger, it was a bigger issue. Couples would rather work with a man.
Brooks says she will never forget her first clients and is grateful for the hundreds of others who've trusted her over the last 2 decades.
A lot of people don't have money saved up, their credit's not good. There's always an obstacle. And when you can bridge the gaps and remove those obstacles and people can see what they have wanted to do come to fruition, it's pretty exciting.
Of all the math, marketing, and property knowledge Brooks learned in real estate school, she says the best advice, find a niche and tie it into your business.
If you are an orchid grower, become involved in a group of orchid growers and then expand that into your real estate business.
It was so crazy. We're about to wrap up, and Crosby, the photographer, he asked, what is was your first sale like? And then she tells us a story about how her house was burning down while she was selling her very first home.
Oh my goodness.
Like, we were about to walk away from the interview and she's like, yeah, that happened. We're like, that's the story.
Right, say that again.
That's oh my gosh,
Yes.
I can't imagine. But look at her now.
Yeah, doing great.
Very, very impressive. I know that real estate is something I'm interested in getting into. It's a really lucrative business, and to see how she was able to tap in this and just take off and have a great career is really inspiring.
Yeah, she's been doing it for a while.
A lot of people say, and I kind of agree, I can see this, how it's such a people business, you're always to help someone with their home and their family, that's a big decision. I think it's really cool. But right now, there's such small inventory, the realtors are really struggling to find anything to sell. Everything's moved already.
And it's such a hard job, I would
It
imagine.
is.
I mean, it's nonstop. I mean, if your client is texting you or calling you at Saturday morning at 8 a.m.
All the time.
You have to
It's
answer,
a hustle.
Mm-hmm.
You got to know your stuff too.
You'd be good
she
at
talked
that.
about
Lauren.
that.
Lauren will be doing that. All right, we'll take a break. We're coming back.
Hey, I sent you a Snopes interview.
I saw.
Is this me? And then
Kind of sad.
things too, and they were all like, "Yeah, no."
No, it's probably not Putin
Yeah.
trying to get your info.
Yes, and I'm talking to
still
Tim
not knowing.
Buckley. Can you not hear me? Hello, 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 hello.
She would have to go.
I don't know.
Can you hear me? Mic check, 1, 2, 3.
Well, I used to have to give my mic to Chad every day.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thanks.
But nothing to quit about either. Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas.
Tim Buckley, meteorologist, going to talk about the weather.
It's time for my 2 cents. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. It's a month dedicated to educating the public and advocating for policies that support people with mental illness and their families. Studies show a major increase in adults and adolescents reporting symptoms of stress, anxiety, loneliness, and depression. Many of these symptoms brought on by the pandemic. Though COVID-19 may have been a catalyst for bringing the topic of mental health to the forefront, the reality is people have struggled with mental illness since the beginning of time. The summer before my freshman year of college, doctors diagnosed me with anxiety. Years later, doctors told me I was depressed. Insecurities, the fear of failure, and unacceptance heavily weighed on my life. Today, I make an active effort to find ways to cope with my own mental struggles, whether that be going to the gym, speaking words of affirmation, or surrounding myself with a supportive network of friends and family. I share this to say it's okay if you have days where you don't feel your best mentally, but it's important to talk about it and reach out for help. Our minds and our bodies are not separate. They are interconnected. It's important we make strides to take care of ourselves not only physically, but mentally as well. Let's continue to talk about it and break the stigma of mental illness. That's my 2 cents. That's your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts now.